All right. Hello, guys. How y'all doing? We upgraded today. Got a mic. Got it off TikTok Shop. We're gonna see how it goes. So it does well. For today, I want to be talking about two things, and the first or three things. First one's gonna be very short, just to update on what my room is looking like. 'Cause I don't know why I just want to. But the whiteboard you guys seen in my first ever video, here it is. It is changed a little bit. A few stuff that I moved around, and I feel like over time, you guys kind of see. I always make my videos right here. I moved my setup, so I just put my books over here, and the stuff that used to be on the wall, the frames that used to be here too, it's now here on the new setup. So as you guys can see, if hopefully it focuses, that's right here. So right here, you can see I got my little notebook, my computer, my keyboard stopped working, so I've just been using that, and my monitor and just the rest of the stuff. So yeah, let's get straight into this. What I want to talk about for the first main two things. Put this down right here, and we can get straight into it. So for today, I want to talk about two things, right? The first thing I want to talk about is quality and quantity, and what are the differences and the similarities and whatever it is, right? Or what's more accurate. A lot of times people are, and if I have a LinkedIn page as well, so just on my name, whatever my YouTube is basically what my LinkedIn is. But what I want to talk about is people tend to think that they are two different things when they go hand in hand. A lot of people say no, quality is better than quantity, or quantity is better than quality. And if anything, one of them will get you to the other one, and when the other one gets you to the other one, you're basically doing both. So that's what you ultimately want to do. What I mean by that is quality is not the main aspect at first. That's the end goal. The first thing you want to do is the quantity. So for me, I make my cold calls. I don't do a lot of them as much as I need to, if I'm being 100% honest. But starting tomorrow, I talked to a friend yesterday. I wanted to start today, but just life happened, so I had to do as much as I can. But tomorrow I'm gonna have a shift. I'm gonna change my whole schedule to focus on quantity. Sorry. And I called my friend, right, and we were just talking about some stuff I wanted to bring up with them and yada yada yada. And I ended up figuring out that they do basically the same thing I do, but just for a company, right? And I asked them like, okay, so how many calls do you make? 300 a day. So from what time are you working? They said 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they don't like doing it. And of course, sometimes neither do I. But I like doing it because I like pushing myself. I have a notebook because the whole goal is to optimize, right? To optimize to become better. And this is what I'll get into. But I have this little notebook right here, and I'm gonna try to put it where you guys can probably see it. It's just a little notebook that our little draft I have, or not necessarily a draft or script, but it's just an idea what I should be doing when I'm entering a call, and I can get into that. But first is the difference that she said was they were making about 100 calls a day, or about 300 calls a day. Complete difference from me, and they were saying they average about 2 to 7 book meetings. So I'm like, dang, I need to do a lot more. And I've listened to an Alex Hormozy podcast once, and he was saying he talked to somebody about flyer stuff, and the guy said, yeah, they work amazingly. Alex did 300 and it didn't work, and all he got was an angry customer. And when the other guy said he did it, he said, I did what, or Alex went to him and said, I did what you told me. And he goes, oh, so how'd it go? He said it went bad. And he said, oh, how many flyers did you put out? Alex Hormozy said 300. And the guy said, oh, that's why it didn't work. Because he puts 5,000 out a day. So it's completely different. It's a different scale. So trying to get to that would be the ideal for me. And why do I say this is because your quantity will end up being your quality. It's just like when practice makes perfect. You're not going to go to the gym expecting to lift a full plate. You have to get there. You have to get there with repetition, and slowly you become better in order to you get to that. And once you get to that goal, you have the next goal, which is probably 225 and so on and so forth, right? So what I've just been realizing is that's my thing right now. And to dive deeper, it's like you have to subconsciously, as you're going for quantity, you focus on the quality subconsciously. But first, you got to think about it consciously. But then you're fighting two things. Then you're trying to overly focus on quality, and you're not focusing on quantity, right? So what you want to do is strictly focus on the quantity, the amount you're putting out. The input, your whatever your input is, will be your output. And as you start getting better and better and you reach a roadblock, then you want to start focusing on the quality. And once you start focusing on the quality with the quantity that you've already built up, then you're naturally going to do it. What do I mean by that? What I mean is like when you're sometimes you can do stuff very naturally. Like one of the best, like the best of the best soccer players, sometimes they don't need to think, they just do it. They don't need to be they're not conscious of it because it's in their subconscious. So in the beginning, as you're learning, you need to make it a cautious effort. So you need to be like thinking, okay, I need to be cautious today to focus on quality. But I need to do a lot of it. So I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna have it there. You're just gonna keep doing that until it becomes something that you just don't need to think about. It's just gonna happen naturally. Just like if you were to play soccer and you're bad at soccer, but you go every single day, you pass 1,000 balls, let's say every single day. And at a certain point, you're getting so good at it, but you want to get even better. You're gonna focus on how can I get better, and then as you keep doing that, plus the quantity, you're just gonna see more and more output, right? So there's that topic I want to talk about, mainly because I'm learning more to optimize in everything I do. And why I'm saying it is because sometimes you can do a lot of quantity, but you don't think about the quality. So that's why I said they go hand in hand. You have to have both. You can't have one and not the other. And there was this one story I heard. People said it was with pictures, cameras, balloons, different ones, but the one that resonated with me the most is balloons. So basically, it was this one professor who had a full class, let's say of 100 people, and he gave everyone them balloons to blow up and write their names on. At the next day in class, he would put them all in a net and drop them. And once he drops them, all you have to basically, like, if you're in that class, you have to find the balloon with your name on it. It took them the whole class period, and even then, only maybe one or two people found it out of the 100, right? If that. So what he did the next day is he did the same thing, but he said but he said once you and this is going to the next thing I'm going to talk about. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, he said the next time when the balloons drop, find the whatever balloon you see, find the person that it's named to, and it became so much more quicker. They optimized, right? And what I want to segment into is your friendships. Why would I say friendships from quality and quantity? Well, your quantity of friends is the amount of friends that you have. You can have endless amount of friends. I, for one, have moved a lot, so I've had a lot of friends growing up, like people I genuinely know and from different parts of the world, and that I wanted to be my quality friend group, but it just never ended up that way. From going to being born in Egypt, I'm part Egyptian, but we get to that another day. But um, I'm mainly Saudi Arabian, so just that fact. That's the one thing. But I'm Saudi Arabian, so a Saudi Arabian kid born in Egypt, was there for 2 months, came to America for 7 years, Saudi 8 years, UK a year, and then now I'm back in the US for about how many years? For about 5 years now, almost going on six, or next year it'd be six, I believe. So, anyways, I've had so many different friends, and I thought they were my quality friends until I moved, and then it just became the quantity, right? And the out of the many friends I had, maybe one or two were my quality friends, right? But I'm not with them every day, move, so it's completely different. And the quality is what you want in this instance. You want to have a quantity of friends, of people you know that you can network with, but then you want to just have that small quantity, right? Because that's what means the most. And here's how you do it, or not how you do it. This is what I think about it. I'm not gonna tell you because at the end of the day you're gonna figure it out. I'm only saying this because there's good and bad in everybody. I'm not the kindest person in the world, nor am I the rudest person in the world, right? So I'm in two extremes. I'm not one, I'm not the other, but I'm in the middle. Sometimes I can be rude or unkind if it ever happens and I don't understand it and I don't know till I learn. Or there could be times where I'm superly kind. Like it's just life, right? So you just try to optimize to be better. But what I mean is, I want to say this, and you guys know this is the five people you hang around with you're gonna become the sixth. So if you're hanging around five smokers, you're gonna become the sixth. If you're hanging around 100, or if you're hanging around 5 millionaires, you become the sixth, right? So I'm saying this because that's true. But at the second thing, like for me, I'm Muslim. I don't smoke or drink. If I hang around five smokers, I know 100% sure I'm not gonna smoke or drink. But what I might take for them is their addiction habits. So it could be addiction towards something bad, or it could be their, because when you're smoking, drinking, you can get angry easily. Taking that from them, their anxiety, because your anxiety is a lot high end, so they might be paranoid a lot. So I might take that. I'm not necessarily taking that smoking habit. I'm taking the other things that come with it, right? And let's say I might not become a millionaire, which most likely, if you're hanging around millionaires, you might want to learn. You might want to have what they have, so you're gonna try to do your best. But sometimes people just don't, right? But what they will take is maybe being healthy, being somebody who is eager to learn, doing all this kind of stuff, right? So those are good traits, right? And maybe some of those millionaires are rude to certain people, but maybe they're do amazing in all those other realms. For me, what I've learned from moving a lot is I'm gonna take the good from whatever's good and then just leave the bad, and I'm going, right. I'm obviously not leaving completely, but like in a sense where I know where I need to keep myself. It's all about prioritizing you, right? And that's another thing of optimizing. I'm trying to learn is to optimize and prioritize me. And again, I say this because with the quality friends that you have, they should know to a certain degree, either with you telling them or without. But most likely you have to tell them because they might not know. But if they already know, then that's just a bonus that you need to prioritize you, right? These people are supposed to make sure you're doing good. And just as you should make sure they're doing good. You should never bring someone down, right? There's two extremes of friendships. I was watching a video on the podcast, the Diver CEO with Simon Sinek or Sinek, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how to pronounce it, so that's why I'm just spitballing here. But he was saying, for example, there was Steve was saying, or Steven was saying, that the host, that would he ever be rude to somebody? He was like, no, never, never do that to somebody I'm trying to help. But then they go, but Andrew Tate's different. So there's two extremes. There's the Andrew Tate, and then there's the you. The Andrew Tate is you're a bum, you're a loser, you make no money, and you're fat, and and that's what's wrong with you. So here's what you should do to become better, and I'm the person to help you. Right? That's basically that's what Andrew Tate's approach. And some other people host, they come with it with complete kindness. They encourage them, right? And they're both good ways. They're both not bad ways, right? It's depending how you take it. But there are both extremes. So there are downsides. By coming to someone and telling them, "Oh, you're fat, you're lazy, you're this, and that, and the other," they might take it like, "Oh yeah, I'm determined now to push myself." But now, if you're only saying that to yourself, right? Even if you know you're ripped and it helps push you, sometimes you can identify as that. And because you've said it to yourself so much, when you're the one person in the world that can tell yourself good and bad things, you're telling yourself bad things, that could not be healthy. You can be accountable, but there's also different phrases and ways to say that, right? And if you're overdoing too good to yourself, or people are telling you, "Oh, you're doing amazing, amazing, amazing," and you're barely doing anything, that could get you to the point where you feel like you don't need to improve, right? So I think for the middle of it, like let's say if I'm playing soccer with my friend and he's always giving me bad passes, instead of getting 100% mad at him, or showing him, and he's, let's say if he's being stubborn or is not understanding, I go to him, I try to tell you, and all that kind of stuff, right? Like bickering, or even if I'm joking, like, you suck. Like if I'm messing with my friend and he can't pass the ball, I'm gonna be selfish to help him, and that's a selfless act, but in a sense where I'm also being selfish, right? I'm gonna tell you why. It's good to be selfish and selfless at the same time. I'm gonna be selfish because I want a good pass ball, but I'm also gonna be helping someone else. And this is where the balloon situation comes in. When you help somebody, things move a lot quicker, move a lot more efficiently, and you build a better bond, a better connection. So let's say it's me and you, and I'm telling you, "Oh, you suck and you can't pass the ball," right? I'm messing with you, and we're both joking. And then maybe one day you get very pissed, or one day you're not. But instead of just always telling you that, or trying to help you in a different way, and if that way of helping you is just not working, I'll probably take a different approach. And that approach be like, you're not probably I'll probably tell you in a way, in a nice, kind way, that like, hey, there's a lot of improvement you need to have, but why don't you try this? Try looking at the ball and your insoles, and then just explain it to you. And then maybe if I train on my own, bring you to my training, right? And if I really want to overdo it and really go out my way, then I'll help you more. I don't have to be your one-on-one coach to make you the best player ever, but like if we're friends, we're playing, and you're coming to my training, and you're not getting it right, and you're getting pissed, I'll be like, all right, try this, take it slow, think about it, rather than me just look at you and let you do your thing, right? Sometimes that's fine. Sometimes you just gotta let people do their thing. Um, but at the same time, it's again, it's how you convey yourself, how you put yourself out there. How are you trying to help? Is it the right way? Is it a kind way? Is it realistic? So I think putting yourself in the middle, in between the Andrew Tate extreme versus the Simon Sinek, and just come to the middle. You can be direct. You can be like, listen, being direct and being 100% honest and being straightforward doesn't mean you have to be rude. It doesn't mean that. So that's where you have to watch out. So make sure, again, let's recoup this because I feel like I spilled a little bit, a lot everywhere. But excuse me, it is the input is your output. So your quantity will be your quality, and the quality of people you'll get more out of it in quantity. If that makes sense. So they go hand in hand. So your quality of friends will probably get you more in life, in a sense of more happiness, more adventure, more money, more whatever it is that you're searching for. So that's something I would talk. That's something I've been thinking about. But yeah, other than that, that concludes this video. Um, I want to say I made my cold calls already, so inshallah tomorrow is going to be the day where everything kind of shifts. So I would like to ask you, whoever watches this, even if this is years down the line, to give me your dua, to give me your prayers, and I pray that that gets to you 100 times more. So inshallah, you guys have a great one, and assalamu alaikum.